Hi, you may notice this video scaled a little differently. I didn't realize this while editing, but Megalopolis was shot in a much wider format than most movies. I could fix this easily, but I want to show you this movie the way Coppola wanted to show you this movie, so you could see it like this and not compressed like this. Coppola would have wanted it this way. Ahem. Megalopolis is the first film ever to make $1 megalillion, and by that I mean it lost one man almost $100 million. Francis Ford Coppola is an interesting fella. Made some of the best movies to come out of the 70s, and then not a whole lot of what he made afterwards is talked about that much. Peggy Sue Got Married, Jack, Twixt. Right, Twixt. Everyone loved Twixt. But he decided in his mid-80s he would fully invest, I believe, $120 million of his own money to make Megalopolis, which he had been trying to get developed for a good amount of his career, but he's never gotten the chance to do so. So I don't blame him for wanting to bring this story to life and producing it himself, but the problem is the end product is Megalopolis. Maybe it took so long to make because no studio would want to invest in a script like this. And he's either petty or a little slow for 86 years old because he thinks this movie's a masterpiece, and that audiences just don't get it. Like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, it's your money, but god damn, this is the final product? Yes, I had the money to do whatever I wanted, so I had Jon Voight talk about his penis.
What do you think of this boner I got?
Okay, so what's the plot of Megalopolis? I don't know. I've watched this movie twice all the way through. Maybe I'm the stupid shithead that Coppola's talking about because I don't understand this movie one bit. Like, there is more here than just weird visuals and dialogue. There is a story. There are themes in this story, believe it or not. Something about fascism and new ideas and time. I really can't say. I'm not here to analyze the themes of Megalopolis. I'm here to make fun of an elderly, decrepit old man. Not Jon Voight. Well, also Jon Voight. They're the same age. Okay, so Adam Driver, Caesar, is an architect planning to make a new development in the city of New Rome, which is basically New York. He's got time powers. Time stop! It's so cool. Caesar's got a mixed opinion from the city about him. The mayor doesn't like him, or this new development. The mayor's daughter, Julia, comes along and wants to help Caesar out with this new development, and at first, Caesar blows her off. And I'm only mentioning this because this is the only scene that most people know about. Why don't you go back to the club? Adam Driver is giving an odd performance in this movie. He switches between talking like a somewhat normal person and then talking like a 14-year-old Reddit atheist who's trying to use big words to sound smart.
This endless conflict that we live in now? Wasn't it human friendliness that stimulated our brains by learning and enabled us to outcompete all other species on Earth?
Oh dear, blah, blah, blah.
Maybe it was poor direction. Shia LaBeouf planted a video that causes Caesar to be accused of sleeping with this lady who's supposed to be a virgin, and that's a big deal. But then it's revealed that it was a setup and altered, so Caesar actually didn't do that. This is important because it fills up time in the movie. Aubrey Plaza is here. She wants Caesar, but so does Julia. Caesar's rather akin to Julia more than Aubrey Plaza, so they start a relationship much to the disappointment of the mayor, who's Julia's father. Caesar and her bone. Well, there's an uprising because people are mad they lost their home so Megalopolis could be created, which is causing Shia LaBeouf to gain power because they're desperate. And Shia LaBeouf claims to have a solution. And if it wasn't clear that this was a Trump allegory before, they make it as clear as possible here.
He has no boundaries, and that's how you get into politics. That makes a political leader. A little crazy, no boundaries, and he's an entertainer.
A few scenes later, Caesar meets a little boy and nothing bad happens. Man, I love Caesar. I hope nothing bad happens to him. But he's fine. He takes a while to recover, and thanks to future science magic, he's able to heal a bullet wound to the face. Although now he looks like Elon on a K-bender. Aubrey Plaza starts having sex with Shia LaBeouf to convince him to take over Jon Voight's family business, which is worth a lot of money and power. Jon Voight doesn't want to do it, so he decides to have a stroke. That's not even a part of the movie, he just did that. The city starts rioting because they really hate Megalopolis and Caesar, as well as the mayor, because Caesar had a baby with Julia, so they go into hiding. They set up this going into hiding thing, but nothing happens, nothing comes of it. They're just here until the conflict is resolved.
Rioters have been pushed back, and the road's cleared.
Turns out Jon Voight was faking his stroke, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you, to Aubrey Plaza and Shia LaBeouf, and she just stands there for a bit, shocked. Honestly, at that point, she deserves it. Caesar gives a little speech to the people so they stop being mad at him, and it's not a bad speech. It's got a good message, it's worded well, it's the point of the movie that it's trying to drive home. Problem is, this is 2 hours into the movie. Most people are checked out at this point and want it to end. I know I did. I didn't care what was going on at this point. But it works to sway the people to like Caesar and Megalopolis again.
The gates of Megalopolis are open!
And because of this, Shia gets beaten up by his followers for dissing on Caesar the whole time, and we get this stupid shot of him hanging upside down. But it's a happy ending. Everyone's great and thriving. Not even joking this time. I was fully expecting Caesar to die by the end of this movie, but no, he lives to the end. Time stops, and now the baby is the only one who controls time because babies control the future. Way to go, Mr. Coppola. This movie has no meat and potatoes, which makes sense because this movie isn't very palatable. It's confusing and it's visually messy a lot of the time, making it a struggle to piece together what's going on, so it just results in a frustrating experience if you're actually trying to watch this movie with the intent that Coppola wanted you to watch it with. Maybe that was his intention. He wanted to frustrate you. You have to work your brain to understand the deeper meanings of this movie. You can feel like Caesar yourself, a misunderstood intellectual who looked deep into the meaning of Megalopolis, and you know that it's a masterpiece, unlike everyone else who thinks it's just a giant piece of shit. And he really put the cope in Coppola with every bit of press and promotion with this movie. He really said, I brought in canceled celebrities like Shia LaBeouf, Dustin Hoffman, and Jon Voight, which, okay, Jon Voight isn't really canceled by any means for his beliefs or actions. He just hasn't been in a good movie in over 20 years. One could say he's not getting good roles because of his political affiliation, but this guy said yes to Baby Geniuses 5.
They seek me here. They seek me there. The babies seek me everywhere. What is my plan they cannot see.
And I'm not a Voight defender, but why are you grouping him in with Dustin Hoffman and Shia LaBeouf? Two people who have had sexual assault allegations against them. It just seems kind of shitty. But not shocking coming from Coppola because this isn't the first time he's defended shitty people. His excuse for this casting was saying, what I didn't want to happen is that we're deemed some woke Hollywood production that's simply lecturing viewers. Oh yeah, that's not what it feels like at all. No one who uses the word woke the way he's using it here is going to be able to understand what this movie is even trying to say. They're not going to suddenly make an exception just because Shia LaBeouf or Dustin Hoffman is in your movie. They're still gonna call it woke. But no one from either side saw this movie, so it doesn't matter. There's also the fake quote trailer released by Lionsgate, something I don't think Coppola was really aware of, so I'm not blaming him, but they made a teaser trailer with fake quotes from critics about his other movies. The trailer was trying to give the impression that critics said movies like The Godfather and Apocalypse Now were bad, which did kind of happen at the time, but not in the same way this trailer was presenting. So Megalopolis, with its bad critical reception, will eventually end up as highly regarded as those other movies, which, no, this is Megalopolis. It's preachy, it's pretentious, dare I say, it insists upon itself. It's not going to become some cult hit like those other movies. But they released this, they were caught, Lionsgate apologized. I still feel like it's important to talk about when it comes to the marketing of this movie. And again, Coppola didn't have much control over that, but what he did have control over is the distribution, which he is being so petty about. This movie bombed at the box office, so when it came time to come to streaming services, it was up for a few days, and then it was pulled. No Blu-ray release, not on any streaming services, nothing.
No, I'm sorry. You can't see this movie. Nobody can see this movie. I can't even go in.
All of this because Coppola actually believes he can make his money back by keeping it in theaters. What's that? It's not playing at your local theater right now? No, Coppola wants to keep doing special screenings for a few select theaters every few months. Very dumb, but he thinks it shouldn't be on a television screen, that it must be watched in a theater. But does he know that he can do both? He has these special screenings from time to time that do get a lot of tickets sold, but he's not going to make this money back by showing this movie on 10 different theaters every month. It's also kind of expensive to go to a screening of Megalopolis, a movie that I don't really want to see in the first place. I guess his logic is if he charges 3 times what a movie ticket costs, then he'll get his money back 3 times as fast. and he really wants people to see this movie. I keep getting these ads on Instagram saying, please spend an evening with Francis Ford Coppola. I don't want to. Why wouldn't you want to syndicate your movie to streaming services? Do you just not care? You claim it's a very important movie that people should see, especially after the election. Why don't you let people see it and judge for themselves? The reason is, he's petty. I don't want to hear any artistic reasons as to why he's withholding this movie. It's all bullshit. He's just a petty Hollywood old head. And I can understand why he'd want to make this movie. He wants to have a lasting legacy beyond the movies he made in the 70s. It's interesting because a lot of directors will usually make better movies as they get older. But this is it. I mean, he might make another movie, but it won't be Megalopolis. He's been working on this movie for over 20 years. This was his magnum opus. After his other magnum opus that flopped, and his other magnum opus that flopped. Look, if we get a 106-year-old Coppola bankrupting himself again to bring us his next magnum opus, I won't be complaining. I mean, I will be, but I will buy a ticket. I will watch it. How do you even go from making the second and fourth highest rated movie on IMDb to making Twixt and Megalopolis? Could have something to do with the people he financially backs. That's all I have to say.
This boner,